Hi, I'm Tom Wilson, founder of Wilson Law Office. And today we're going to talk about a topic that has become much more problematic in Michiana, and that is the difference in the treatment of what I would call hard drugs as a possession or possession with intent to deliver. And when I talk about hardcore, what I'm talking about is things like methamphetamine or cocaine, heroine, drugs that essentially are not alcohol or marijuana. Now, I want to say this right away because it's very important. In Indiana at this time, if you are facing a drug offense for one of these hard drugs, this is not the time to do this on your own. It's very important to have representation. There's a phone number on the bottom of this video. Pick up the phone, give us a call, schedule an appointment, get help, because the prosecutor's office tends to go after these cases hard, and you don't want to put your liberty at risk. So, with that advisement, let's talk about some basic information about the criminal justice and how they deal with and determine the different elements of possession or dealing drugs. There's two ways you can actually possess a drug substance or even a gun or other items under the law. One is actual possession. Actual possession is when you have, say, a baggie of methamphetamine in your hand or in your pocket, and the officer finds that there. That's actual possession. A second way that you can have possession is what they call constructive possession. This means that the officer pats you down and they don't find anything on your person, but sitting on the center console of your car is a baggie of cocaine. Can that baggie of cocaine be determined to be yours? That's a very, very intense factual question, but really what it comes down to is, were you in a position where you could maintain dominion and control? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean any. What it generally means, though, is can they show that you knew it was there, and can you reach out and take it? That's a simplified version explanation of what we're talking about. But if you can answer that question yes, then you had possession. Now, what's the difference between possession and possession with intent to deliver, which is essentially intent to deal? And again, dealing or intent to deliver, you have the same possibility of two different ways it can happen. One is you can have a situation where they have evidence where they observe you either live or on video recording handing over an illegal drug to another individual. That's dealing. More commonly, what we see is possession with intent to deliver. And what that is when they find you, say, on the street, and you have indications that they believe show that you are going to sell those drugs to someone else. And there's a lot of factors in that. Some of that includes the amount of the drugs that were involved, how much money you have in your possession, if they find scales in your possession. Another one that people don't necessarily think about outside of the legal system is if they find a bunch of baggies in your car with the corners ripped out. It's a way that a lot of times the police will testify that that's how dealers store certain hard drugs. If the state feels that they can prove the intent to deliver, the ramifications go up dramatically. And the state's less interested at that point in treatment and more likely to be looking at possible jail time. That's why I said it's very, very important in these cases to get in to see a qualified attorney as soon as possible. And that's what this video is intended to make sure you understand, that it doesn't require you to have drugs in your hand and hand them to somebody else in order for them to convict you of that. So, as I said, there's a phone number on the bottom of the screen. Call right away. Get an appointment set. Come on in. We'll walk you through the information. We'll make sure you understand in your situation how it plays out and what we can do with that. And until we meet, thank you for listening to this video. I'm Tom Wilson, founder of Wilson Law Office.